My name is Yueyang, and I'm from Computer Science Department. I'm interested in computer architecture, computer networks, and in this competition, I'm responsible for the benchmarks.
Okay. I'm Yang Fangyuan from the School of ECS, and in this competition, I'm doing the part of the GROMAX application.
Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Pengcheng Xu, and I'm currently the leader of the team. I'm from the Computer Science Department at Peking University. I'm interested in computer architecture and the broad area of computer systems, including computer architecture and embedded systems. And in this competition, I'm mainly in charge of the mystery application. Yeah, that's all.
Hello, I'm Yuchen. I'm also from Department of Computer Science. And in this competition, I'm responsible for CESM.
Hello, I'm Zhewen Hao. I'm from the Turing class in the zoo, and my research interest is parallel programs and parallel programming and parallel algorithms. I'm responsible for the reproducibility test in this competition.
Hey, we have done a lot of preparation for this competition. We communicate with our mentors, from both computer science department and the computing center, which is responsible for the management of the the school network. We have also communicated with a lot of departments in our school, including physics, biology, and computer science department. We have invited lots of teachers to give us lessons about the nature of applications, including SESM and GROMAX. And we also have our alumni to give us some experience about previous competitions. We invite them to give us lectures about their experiences and what will be going in this competition, and we also communicate with industries, including NVIDIA and Microsoft. We communicate with them about how to deploy applications on the GPUs and on the Azure VMs, and there may be a lot of differences between the cloud competition and the actual competition happened in Denver. So we adjust our preparing strategies a little bit. In the previous years, we do a lot of preparations on our clusters, but this year we turn our attention to the Azure cloud. We also read a lot about the Azure Cycle Cloud menus. We organized a lot of technical sessions between our members. Each of us read part of this menu and teach others about the contents in this menu. So every one of us is has full understanding of this Cycle Cloud platform, and everyone is sure what they are doing in this competition. In the following time, will be handed to some of our team members and let them introduce some of their preparations.
Yeah, so I guess I'll get started first.
Yeah.
And yeah, just as I've just introduced, I'm in charge of the mystery application. And what's a little different about the mystery application from the other competition application is that the mystery application is not informed to the team members beforehand, just like every other, such as CSM or GROMAX. So we need to grab the code beforehand and actually read the code and read the compiling instructions to get the code up and running, and as well as to debug any possible happenings about the code, such as library is not working, and etc. And that is done by at first by pure guessing, but as we get through more and more competitions, we build up the experience to handle different types of applications, and that experience helped us well in this competition as well. So the mini-byte application actually is being a graph community calculation program. It suits well. It runs well on both Intel and AMD types of nodes, and so in this competition, we mainly chose the AMD type of nodes to run the application.
Hello, I'm responsible for the reproducibility task, and this year's reproducibility task is different from the past years because in the past years, the reproducibility task is more about simulation, but this year is a topic in the traditional computer science is an application about Friis matrix vector multiplication, and to accurately reproduce their results, the key points is to handle the memory war and compile the code with appropriate instructions suited for our architecture. We have do a lot of preparations for the reproducibility test. We read the paper carefully and gathered up several team tutorials about how to understand and share our understanding towards this paper. And in the contest, we find many situations we haven't met before, but we finally successfully tackled it and reproduced the perfect results.
Okay, now Sesam.
Sesam is really a very complicated application, and luckily we try to compile it and debugging beforehand. So in the competition, there isn't much.
In the competition, we do a lot. We do a lot of our pre-prepared works. So we can just run our applications very smoothly. And you see, not a lot of teams finished all 5 steps in this competition. So I think our preparation made a great contribution to this competition. Yeah. Now I think the last time we were left for the GROMACS. Just say something about that.
Okay. In GROMACS is an application to simulate the particle. Simulate the particle, and for in the preparing stage, we got a lot of help from a student with a background of physics and biology, so I can get familiar with this topic. In the final competition, I think the most challenging thing is to manage the time for. In this year's GROMACS task is most of the task is a time wasting task. So we need to manage the time using try to use a GPU or CPU wisely. So I think it's the most challenging part. So we choose the task 2 and task 3. We choose to use the task 2 and task 3 in most of our time. So we finally get some result in these 2 tasks.
Yeah, I have one thing to mention is that in this year's competition, the instructions of GROMACS is not very clear. So we have to spend a lot of time to figure out what they are trying to express.
Yeah, about the applications. Sometimes as our team members mentioned, sometimes the instructions turn out to be not very clear. But yeah, it's perfectly understandable inside these tough situations for everybody anyway across the globe. So, and in the meantime, it's also always a great practice for team members and the judges to communicate and exchange ideas in case anything goes wrong, be it the problem of the judges or the students. As it turns out in the competition, for many times, there are times that the students just messed up compiling the code or didn't know how to run the code. So I think that's totally fine for the flow of the competition. Okay, and wrapping up the introduction or say report of how we perform in the competition for each application, I'd like to thank the passionate mentors as well as vendor partners who are unfortunately not here because it's very late here in Beijing. Anyway, I'd like to thank them for their passionate support and keeping us fed and safe during the entire competition, even though it is virtual. As you can see, we are working together in this meeting room. So it does not change very much for us about the experience of the competition. And also thanks for the host for interviewing us, as well as for all of you watching this for your time. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.